When an artist is doing something, it's not often that it'll be anything more than a blank, flat piece of paper, right? Where when you guys are doing it, you have to think, okay, this has to curve around, someone's body. And on top of saying that, every human body is so different.
See, when it comes to tattooing, like, the techniques are honestly very basic and simple. Once you know your line work, you know your line work.
Yeah, that's it, sort of. So knowing where you can push someone into getting what they want before maybe even they know what they want is probably quite an impressive skill.
Here's the thing, it all depends on your perspective. Because when you look at the tattoo at a certain angle, it's like, okay, cool, it's perfectly straight and so on. As you come around, because of the curvature of the leg,
it suddenly starts to look off.
That line may not look perfectly straight then. Welcome back, everyone, for another episode of the Mavi podcast, where today we have Adam and Rhea.
Rhea, good girl. She's joining us again. I'm on babysitting Judy again today.
It's always good to have her here.
Look at her.
Always makes our day brighter.
Well, she seems to like coming here, and I certainly do. So it's a win-win for both of us.
Yeah, we're one step closer to adopting her.
This could be a good, what's it called, a good mascot for the old studio.
Yeah. You mentioned that last time.
Well, yeah. We're trying to get her off my hands.
Yeah, maybe. So, today we'll be talking about one of my favourite tattoos I've ever done. And it holds a lot of meaning. I can't say it is my favourite, because there's no such thing, but it is one of my
children.
It's like one of my favourites, And I'll explain why.
Well, you sent me the reference photos through for this beforehand, so I could have a little look.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So, the tattoo in question, we'll just pop it up on screen here. There's a lot of detail. And whenever the client approached me about this, it was like one of those tattoos that kind of makes you feel a wee bit nervous.
Oh, dude, yeah, totally. I can imagine.
So, I've seen other artists kind of like tackle this before. And I've always wanted to do that. And whenever this client approached me with it, I was like, wow, yeah, I'm all for it. I got so excited. The problem was, though, is like, if the design was left entirely up to me, I would struggle, because I wouldn't know what sort of like subject matter to base it off.
Yeah, because it is a bit of an odd one, really. But did he come with this idea?
Not really. So what my biggest fear was, somebody just saying like, okay, here's a rough idea of what I want, which is a concept style of work, which is what we are kind of discussing today. I wouldn't know what sort of like,
what exactly she was looking for with this, because it's completely different per person.
Exactly, like, see the fillers, like the line work and, around it, that's all easy enough, I can do. But what is the actual, like, imagery? So, but the best thing about it is, like, she came to me and was like, hey, I want these specific details. And I was like, yes, hallelujah.
Yeah,
this
exactly
is great.
What they wanted.
For my first time doing, like, concept style work, that's exactly what I need, And, for the whole journey, it really, like, leveled up my kind of experience with the concept style work. Because, to be honest, like, after this, I knew exactly what I was doing for all others.
So you feel super confident with it now after that initial?
Oh, yeah. So this kind of created, like, the blueprints to, head down that kind of style of work,
It's great. The ability to, like, learn more of your craft from this is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Glad she been.
I learned a lot
before I go for it here.
Well, it's so it kind of started off with I think it was the Perseus. Yeah, I think we started with that one, with the Marcus Aurelius above it. So there, of course, there's a lot of meaning that the client holds to that. So I can't speak for them. What sort of meaning it has.
Yeah,
for them.
Personally for them. Yeah.
Yeah, but through imagery standpoint point of view, it's like, oh, it's just so nice. It's so like,
it does look so good.
It was just so pleasing, to the eye. The fact that I've always wanted to do it as well just made it that much more enjoyable
for you, really. Actually,
but on the day, it was a lot of kind of like chopping and changing. So we got the initial idea. I had it sitting ready, and it's like, right, okay, how do I tackle this? Because you can't simply just design it up,
and stick it on,
and then that's it, because it wouldn't flow with the leg. The sizing probably wouldn't be right, the proportions as well. So we had to chop and change a lot, throughout.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of work kind of like together to achieve that.
Yeah, to kind of figure out exactly what would work, where she wanted it,
Yeah.
how it was going to go down, could like minor changes be needed.
Exactly, but it was just consistent throughout the whole like leg piece. So we were just like right chopping and changing until we got it kind of perfect.
Kind
so
of final
it
version,
was a
yeah.
bit of like mental torment with that, but like the results kind of
Yeah, they speak for themselves. I'd
exactly
say.
they were so worth it.
And was this one session or was
Oh
it
no, just a spread over like maybe 5 or 6.
5 or 6? Good.
Yeah, you can imagine like the amount of like
Detail
work
that goes into that.
exactly
Yeah.
like detail takes time, and because we're going so like minuscule with it, detail surrounded by like the
Yeah, it's like
fillers.
flowing parts. Yeah.
Yeah, it really just like complemented like the simplicity complemented the detail, which I love about it.
God, it looks so good. I'm just stuck staring at these photos of it because I just think it's fantastic.
Well, initially we started off with those two, the Perseus holding Medusa's head, and then the Marcus Aurelius above it, and then I think we just done the very basic kind of full out work.
Oh, she did that alongside the actual pieces.
Yeah, just to help us kind of connect it up.
Oh yes, and get your idea for the sizes and the workings for the rest of it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, we do have a close up of the Marcus Aurelius there, as you can see down there.
Yeah.
Gonna pop it up on screen. Like the detail in that was, was a lot, and like I really enjoyed it, and it included that kind of like statuesque style work.
I was going to say because you have successfully managed to capture this being a statue more so than a person. I think that's fantastic to be able to get that across.
So the reason how you would do that is using a liner needle for shading, and you slow the machine down and use like a smaller kind of like liner, maybe like a 3 or a 5, and you would just kind of stipple shades. Yeah. I call it kind of like a statuesque style work because it really helps that kind of achieve that greeny,
perfectly. Yeah,
like a greeny kind of feel to it.
Great,
So
that's good, Alexi.
Yeah, the whole the whole tattoo, leg piece, we approach it with so much intent, to achieve this kind of effect. And then you'll see the Perseus holding the Medusa's head on the screen there as well. We close up of that. So yeah, same sort of effect, and you notice a bit of a pattern throughout this, and just nice kind of border around it.
Yeah, I mean the framing where everything actually falls in the leg just makes it look so put together. This could have so easily looked very heavy on one side and light on another, but exactly where you've managed to find like the space to put these and the fillers between them, I feel like the entire thing just flew so naturally.
That's what I love about this style of work. And see, you notice probably like the writing there as well. It's
the writing.
It's a wee bit difficult to kind of like read, but that's the way it's kind of meant to be. It's not meant to stand out too much.
Yeah, well, it's meant to look like the old school handwriting.
Exactly.
Which of course is sometimes very difficult to actually see what is meant to be written there. But
yeah,
it looks great and it completely falls within the style.
The quotes kind of complement everything there. Like some of the quotes are from Marcus Aurelius, and like some quotes are from like other kind of like I think poems. But
don't quote me. Favorite one?
What the
that
quotes?
You did there? Yeah.
Oh,
was there a really good one?
Oh man, when it comes to quotes, I'm not.
Oh, not that kind of guy.
Not the guy for that. Like the only quote that holds a piece in my heart is Veni Vidi Mavi.
That's a good one. She just snuck that on her leg while she was.
Yeah, well, believe it or not, a few people have gotten that tattooed on them in the past.
Yeah. That's going on my body somewhere.
Oh man, yeah, of course, that'd be cool. Moving on from that, so we've done the Marcus Aurelius, Perseus, a bit of the filler, and we just left it at that until we started doing something else. Like the perspective, I think, came after, the bit of writing coming down, and of course, that holds a lot of meaning to the client, so I can't speak for them, but the position of it was just perfect. It was like right there on the bone of the of the shin.
Yes. So right in perfect view.
Yeah, that, believe it or not, that is the only location where that would have worked. Anywhere else, it would have wouldn't have worked with the muscle,
with the way that your leg naturally sits.
Yeah, and that's what you have to keep in mind going into the tattoos.
I mean, I've talked about this before, but I think it's amazing because when an artist is doing something, it's not often that it'll be anything more than a blank, flat piece of paper, right? Where when you guys are doing it, you have to think, okay, this has to curve around someone's body. you know, and on top of saying that, every human body is so different. So,
Oh,
like, you have
exactly,
to,
yeah.
that's different with every client. This looks great. I mean, so it was your idea for that positioning then?
Well, it was kind of both of ours. You know, like we were like, okay, this would look good here, and if we were to do this here, let's do the perspective like
Yeah,
here
so you
because the
talked her
flow.
through each piece of it, yeah.
Exactly. And see, just more on the, the curvature of the muscle and so on, because we're dealing with line work around the imagery, because of the muscle, it curves on it. So whenever you put the
So that has to be
stencil,
like a part of it as well.
it was a whole thing, it was a melt trying to make it happen, especially for the first time trying to do this type of work.
Yeah. Well, you had
So
to break your seal somewhere.
whenever you're applying, like, say, like the rectangle onto the body, it's no longer a rectangle. It's going like one line is straight, the next line is
Suddenly
diagonal.
curving,
Yeah, and it's
yeah.
like, oh, no way. So like this point seems higher than this point. So you're like, I'm gonna have to modify this so it's like on paper
right.
it wouldn't look like it's a rectangle,
Yeah.
but on the body it needs to look like a rectangle. So I needed like freehand a lot of the shapes to make sure like it's perfect.
It's exactly how she wanted it to be and how you were looking for it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
How many revisions did you go through with the designs?
Oh, and loads.
Like
Well, that's
absolutely like tons and tons. I imagine.
Yeah, as I say, like at the beginning there, it was a melt trying to get it right, because there were so many like chopping and changing as we went along.
To it and the body changing, what she was looking and what felt right, and
Yeah, so you're trying to find that sweet spot for everything, keeping the client happy, making sure the tattoo looks good. It's
just so much to think about.
Oh yeah.
If you had to take a guesstimate, how many times do you think you went back for that design and went through it?
Well,
just out of pure interest, yeah.
Oh well, not a whole lot because, like, I've got other projects on, man.
Sure. He's a busy guy.
This one here is like the first of the series where the client isn't present.
Yeah,
that I wanted to talk about.
Well, yeah, because this piece has meaning to you as your
first. Oh yeah,
well.
Yeah.
It was an incredible piece for you to begin with.
It kind of started the fire for like this style.
For that style.
Yeah, and developed like the basis for doing more of this.
Yeah, let's discuss
which I have
afterwards.
done more of that, in the future, to date.
Yeah.
But this was the one that kind of kickstarted it all. But just back on the line work on the the background. Here's the thing. It all depends on your perspective. Because when you look at the tattoo at a certain angle, it's like, okay, cool. It's perfectly straight and so on. As you come around, because of the curvature of the leg,
it suddenly starts to look off.
That line may not look perfectly straight then.
Wow.
Okay. So that's what I mean. You gotta find that kind of like sweet spot, to make it work.
Yeah.
Because if you just slap on that stencil, it wouldn't.
It might look fine one direction. You take one step left, and suddenly it looks
exactly. Yeah.
Horror.
You find that a lot in the back of the tricep. Actually, whenever you put the stencil on, whenever you look at it from a different kind of angle,
suddenly it starts looking really pear-shaped.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it's straight. So that's the thing with tattoos. You're trying to find that sweet spot where compromise, where
the golden zone, really.
Yeah, where it's not overly noticeable, but you're always going to see it.
It must be horrendous to try and find that. Like, you know what I mean? It's like lockpicking in Skyrim,
Oh, man, yeah.
To put it back on something.
Legendary difficulty. Well, yeah, and then so just like moving on, we have Lady Justice, which
classic
already says like a million words.
Lady
everyone
Justice loves it.
Yeah, with it like the blindfold over the eyes and holding the scales.
And the sword, or the saber. So good looking.
We'll pop that up here, the wee close up.
I know I glaze you constantly, but every time I see one of your new tattoos, like, I am just always impressed. I zoom in, I just keep looking at all the details I don't see on the initial viewing. Yeah. I find that fascinating.
Well, with this one, we already knew what we were doing. That kind of stipple kind of shade.
Yeah.
Achieve that, statuesque feel to it. So we already knew what we were at, and from the first session, that kind of set a base for the rest of the leg. And then underneath that is like the hummingbird. The hummingbird holds a lot of meaning,
Yeah, a lot of cultures hold it to high esteem, yeah.
Yeah, it's like tenacity and stuff as well. But in this one, we kind of did it with like a Leonardo da Vinci kind of.
Yeah, what's that called? Anyway, his diagrams, his writings, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I knew that straight off the bat, because obviously, I don't know, did he do a bird in that kind of same function? Obviously, the very well known, the man.
Well,
in that
to be honest, I don't know. I just remember him from Assassin's Creed. And just like doing a few paintings. It's
But
like,
I
all
think
right,
too,
cool.
it fits so well. Again, something that you just wouldn't imagine two things coming together actually to work with.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it's like two very contrasting tattoos, but because of the concept style work,
Yeah,
it
it all
works.
flows together.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
man.
And then just below that, we done like a broken column and just a bit of writing kind of like around it with that sort of like filler.
And the
Columns just
writing,
go well.
was the writing done later? Was that like the last thing
Oh
you
yeah,
went
it
on to
was
do?
one of the last things we did. Yeah, yeah. It's just to see what sort of space we're dealing with,
Yeah, what
what
kind
sort
of
of
size you
quotes
can get
we're
away
going
with.
with.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because a picture says a million words, but you can't really say some of the words until you know the final picture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So we kind of left it to like one of the last sort
And
of.
you can tell with that because the writing flows between everything perfectly. I mean, it looks like a Da Vinci diagram that he's written up with his notes on the side. I mean, it just fits perfectly. So evidently, you could tell that. I personally, I looked at it and I thought this is probably done last because it fits so perfectly.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what it was. We're trying to like squeeze it in somewhere that makes
Yeah,
sense,
makes sense. It
where we have
fits and it looks well.
the wee gaps. Yeah.
Mm.
And then moving on around the back, we have the classic Icarus. Now Icarus, it's a very popular tattoo, but when done right, it is
Oh yeah,
it's just perfect. Like
poetic,
I
like
love
the
it.
way that it looks. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just holds so much like meaning. Just flying too close to the sun. You can apply that to so many different things in life. It was just amazing, and just involving some of the
Classic kind of
concept style work.
ancients. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you must have learned so much from this entire thing. So
Oh, absolutely. Well, I can't say it's all like my work, because a lot of it, kind of came to me with the rough idea of like what
yeah, a lot
I
of it was
want
built up
anyway.
already.
Yeah, yeah. Some of the references like we picked out, it was like, kind of agreed on mutually, and it was like, right, okay, sweet, we'll just use that.
Well, that's part of it, isn't it? Coming together as an artist and someone who's requesting it to find that perfect in between, that perfect balance that you need.
Mm.
So I just think it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, you said it yourself, this was the first one that you had done at that time.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, were there any techniques that you find that you actually kind of really developed with this or even learned from this entire
Well, not
thing?
necessarily, because like I see when it comes to tattooing, like the techniques are honestly very basic and simple. Once you know your line work, you know your line
Yeah,
work.
that's it sort of.
Stipple shading, you know that. You know your dark points and light points. You got like your smooth
So it's
transitions.
more like bringing everything together that you have learned into one large piece.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why I really want to tackle this style of work, because it's there's high contrast between stipple kind of shade to line work.
Yeah.
I was just like awesome.
Yeah, it was just so many different blends together, and it all just goes seamlessly.
Yeah.
I just think that's so impressive. The fact that you managed to come up with this, I really would have actually been really interested to see what the original design she brought to you were like.
Well,
to see that natural progression.
Again, like the client already kind of like knows roughly what they're at. So whenever they approach me with the the references, I kind of already knew roughly what.
Yeah, you already had a good idea in your head what they were wanting from you.
Yeah, yeah. So it wasn't honestly even that difficult to sort of like pull together. It was just more. It was just more on the day. It was like the fine tuning
How
of
to actually
it.
get this to work. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of like, but once you breach that barrier, you know exactly what you're doing for like
You know where you're.
all future work. Then
Well,
So,
talking about future work, do you think that this actually helped you or inspired you for some of your next projects? That you...
oh, absolutely. So like whenever more clients started approaching me for like this style of work, I knew exactly what I was doing.
Exactly where you were with
I
them.
knew exactly how to guide them.
Oh, and
forward,
yes,
Okay.
Which I imagine is quite a large part of it, because people probably come in with ideas that are just far too grandiose for what's actually capable. So knowing where you can push someone into getting what they want before maybe even they know what they want is probably quite an impressive skill.
Well, yeah, you kind of got to get into their heads, to understand like what they want.
Yeah.
But some people, like for example, the guy I was phoning like earlier about his tattoo that I'm going to be doing, it's like he just sent me rough references. They're all like fuzzy, like fuzzy references.
40p.
Yeah, and like it was just black and gray shading. You couldn't understand like
What
is
was
it?
this meant to be? Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, to be honest, I don't even know what I want. I just want it to look like what I just sent you. It's like,
Oh, okay.
okay, so it's just shading, to be honest. Like, but we need
It needs to be more
we need a
than
substance.
that. Yeah.
We need a we need to know the subject matter, like what we're working on, because you don't want a whole sleeve full of just shading.
Yeah.
Like, that wouldn't make
Trying
sense.
to describe that to someone when they ask about it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So it's like,
impossible.
so then in that case, it's like, okay, leave it up to me. I'll pick out a few references.
You think
I'll
kinda
send them
suit-
through,
yeah.
and you just let me know what you like best, and then we'll just pretty much
Go from there.
go from there. I'll take that, revise it, finalize it, boom, and that's us ready. Go with that. So that's essentially what I do with clients that are like stuck.
Yeah, not so sure about themselves.
Yeah. Well, she's back again for
Oh,
doing the upper leg. one,
return
Yeah.
customer.
So we actually, what was it? We the escapes me now, but it was the Crying Devil. The last tier of.
Oh, you're hitting me out here.
Like, what's another name for Satan?
For Satan, the devil, the beast with two backs.
No,
The deceiver.
the viewers are probably like
one.
screaming at us right now. Like,
it is.
I know it is.
You really hit me here at my devil knowledge.
Lucifer.
Lucifer.
The last tier of use. Lucifer.
You just said
it's
what
a
was a
famous
very
painting.
popular TV series based on it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I should have just said that. But yeah, the last year of Lucifer before he got sent back to hell. I think it was
to hell, yeah.
Yeah. We done started that. I think there was another one, but I forget now. But that was like the basis of what we're doing next. So we decided, right, we'll just fill it out with like bigger work right now, and then fill it in.
In fact,
Yeah. Instead of trying to do what we did originally, we're just trying to fill it in as we
Yeah.
go.
Even though that did work out very, very well, was she just not? She didn't want to maybe have the long sit downs with it. Or?
No, it was more. I just from more experience, I've realized that's a better way forward.
Okay.
Yeah, trying to fill it in after. Like the gaps in the middle.
I mean, actually, when you think about it, it does make more sense. Really.
Yeah.
Get the big pieces.
Yeah. So that's
her.
what I do from now on. Yeah.
And have you done that for her yet, or is that coming up?
Oh well, yeah. No, it's but it's not fully finished yet. The upper.
Yeah, which there's no pictures. Of course.
You'll probably find out on my like Facebook or Instagram in the future. So,
when it's all been finished out.
Yeah.
Well, I was interested to know for you, because obviously we do talk about the stories behind tattoos a lot. And there's a huge amount of meaning there for the clients themselves. Do you find that a story behind a tattoo or a meaning that someone gives you behind a tattoo helps you in your work with it?
Well, yeah, sometimes. Like, say if a client tells me, I don't know, random idea, like a rose.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I want a rose, but it's really to celebrate like my passion for
gardening.
Yeah, for gardening. Yeah.
Love gardening.
Yeah, it's like, okay, why don't we do a rose that's on fire then?
Oh, okay. So
and then it's like
your brain starts to fire off.
And they're like, whoa, I would
never
love
thought
to
about
do that. Yeah, and it's like, sweet, so I might come out with some good ideas as well if they tell me kind of like the meaning behind
the story or the meaning.
Yeah, but awful lot of times, like the tattoos to represent like family member, I don't know the family member.
Yeah, the context is lost on you at that point.
Yeah, then I'm like, look, I don't know what to do here.
I don't know what Jamie would like this ruse to look.
Yeah, like say if somebody comes to me with like an idea, it's like, I want a family sleeve. It's like, I don't know your family, man. Like,
there's only so much you can add on to that.
Yeah. So I can do the generic stuff, but the generic stuff are just meh.
Yeah,
so
that's basic work for you. It's
exactly.
When someone brings you something with a little bit of passion, something you can really get your mind.
Yeah, like
behind.
substance or authenticity. I'm like, yes, something like this.
Don't we all just love that? To be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, has there ever been? I mean, circumstantial. We're maybe getting a bit away from this, but I'd be interested to know: has there ever been a time where someone's had an idea that they've really wanted, and you've had another idea for it, and you've had to convince them or show them a different way it could be done because you believe it's better that way?
Well, yeah, no, I mean, like that's a kind of part and parcel with the job,
Sometimes it's tempering people's expectations for things or trying to push them towards something you think would look better, but you've got to convince them about it.
Yeah. Well, it's just setting boundaries. But sure, we've talked about a lot of this on, one of the other podcasts, the tattoo podcast, where it went into depth, about how to kind of
not deal with clients, but handle clients.
And like set boundaries and expectations to make sure they're getting what they want and
the best of what they can get as well. Yeah.
I
I just think that's beautiful. So this it just explodes ideas in my mind personally, right? Because I could not have put a name to this design before we started here,
Yeah, well,
right?
it's just concept style. But to be fair, like it's just like anything. Names, get
Oh, thrown about and changed and
yeah,
altered.
exactly.
So, right, so there isn't
So like
really
next week there could be a new name for something, So it's like I don't know. I just call it the concept style of work because it kind of
it looks like a concept sheet.
yeah, like
is
a
that like?
blueprint.
Yes,
like a concept for like
for something else.
yeah, like a building, like columns, for example, so it was like, whoa, to me, that's like awesome. But here's the thing, you could technically make that work with pretty much anything, so if somebody comes to you with like a Pinterest board of lots of different small ideas, you can technically apply that to this
the
style.
concept design.
Yeah, so although they're all very random, they're all brought together by this style of work.
Okay.
Which is why it's so like cool in my opinion.
That is sick as hell.
Yeah.
So now that I have the further context for that, I know within my heart I am going to want a concept based.
Dude, you can literally like you're building, a games kind of sleeve. You can technically do stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
You can technically fill all the fillers in with that.
You sold me already.
if you wanted to, but it's not like. But at the same time, there's so many other kind of like fillers you could go with.
Yeah.
Like the traditional kind of, there's a name for it, forget, but it's like almost like a sealer style.
Yeah.
Where like biker's dust or something it's called.
Biker's dust.
Where you have like the dots and stars, the traditional thing.
Yeah, like the filler that they would have used back.
Yeah, to kind of fill it out, make it way more kind of like traditional. You could also use like more kind of like imagery, like props from the games, like say, what is like a mace?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have like a handle with like the chain kind of wrapped around stuff with the mace, to fill it in. So you can get really creative.
There's like too many tattoos I want. This is terrible. The only thing this podcast does is make me want more and more tattoos.
I know.
It's terrible.
It's a bad influence.
Well, it's an influence.
Yeah.
So looking at this design kind of stuff, it fills me with inspiration for all the things you could do. I feel like looking at what this girl's ideas were, you were able to just capture perfectly the idea behind it, and really that just excites me for what else you could do, for like how else you could imply this.
Yeah. No, it's definitely something that I've been wanting to kind of expand on,
do more on.
Yeah. In the future, maybe do some like once I get a bit of time to myself. I want to create like maybe like a full bodysuit in this kind of style of work, or like full sleeve here, leg piece. Maybe like forearm piece, and I just like post it up and see if anyone wants it.
Yes,
but that's the thing when you're working with like flash designs like that, already pre-made designs. People are essentially just going for that because it's cool.
Yeah, nice.
A lot of people would want like the meaning behind it. They want to make it their own.
Yeah.
So although like you've designed something really cool, some people like you won't really get that many clients for it, and that's a problem that I sort of have. But I would want to, so like it wouldn't really suit my priorities right now.
Yeah,
but in the
you got enough in your plate.
Yeah, in the future I would love to build like a full kind of like gallery almost. Full of like really cool
reference pictures.
Yeah,
different designs and
stuff. Just so I can like leave something behind where I'm like, okay, I have my career, I have my portfolio, and then I have like this kind of full like gallery of tattoo ideas people can use.
Dude, that's awesome.
Even after my time, that sort of thing.
Yeah. You just need to get a bit more free time.
Yeah. Well, that will come, with time and experience and my career and shop, So I know what time's taking.
We're just waiting for it this point.
Yeah. Well, give it a couple of years, man. It'll be good. Like
couple of years into the old 30s.
Yeah. Well, these can all be part and parcel to this. Share, and follow, and tell your friends about us and the studio.
Watch two guys age in real time.
Yeah. Help us achieve our dreams.
Hell yeah, that would be great. I just think I'd be really excited for when these go live and a person comes in or contacts you and say, hey, I saw the podcast, I'd love to think about this design, I think I'll get euphoria from that. Do you know what I mean? The ideas
yeah.
on finding that.
Well, you'll be the first person to know. I'll be like, Adam, it's worked.
It worked. I think that'd be cracking. That'd be a great thing to discuss on the podcast, actually, would be to get that person and just talk about their experience with it as well. That'd be pretty sick.
What the
Like the first client to come through from one of these podcasts, I think would be awesome.
Okay, yeah.
I know, hey, ideas for the future.
Yeah. We need to write that down.
Oh God, I love it so much. So she was obviously like very happy with the tattoo.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The whole
over the moon.
experience went really, really well. Like start to finish, worked very closely together. They sat so well.
Yeah.
Like so well.
You said 5 sessions, yeah, 5 or
I think
6.
so, man. Like honestly, I kind of forget at this stage, but there were long sessions because something like this takes so much time.
Oh,
And like it's not necessarily even the time you commit to the tattoo itself, but sometimes like the prep work beforehand to making sure it's absolutely perfect before you set off on the journey.
Because you want to be 100% sure of it before you start like putting ink to skin.
Yeah.
So
because as soon as you start, you can't really go back.
Yeah. So how long do you think you spent in that kind of initial stage with her, just kind of coming into the conclusion?
More than usual. Probably 45 minutes to an hour. Making sure it's right.
Yeah.
Chopping and changing here and there. Sometimes it could be up to 2 hours, but don't quote me on that because it was so long ago now. I can't really remember.
It's hard to even get to it.
Yeah. But I do have actually a fresher version of like recording of this kind of like tattoo and the step-by-step process and the references included.
Oh, that's so good.
And like I've actually deleted the references that they've shown me since then because like I already filmed it. So I sort of thought like, I won't need it again until I sort of thought like, hey, why don't we do podcasts? It's like, I wish I kept the references.
Hindsight's 20.
But we have another recording of this for the tattoo training podcast.
Yes.
Not podcast,
exciting.
the tattoo training.
Which is very exciting and very informative.
Yeah, well, we've talked about the podcast about the tattoo training, so do check that out. I think it's 3 parts to it.
Worth its time.
Yeah, so we've talked about pretty much everything included in that, and in some of the videos, the students can like receive. They will get a copy of like this, like this tattoo, and how I kind of did it, and the references, and I'm pretty sure we have even a time lapse of me tattooing it.
I love it
in that as well. So yeah,
you have to show me that after. I love that kind of.
Yeah. I think it's on my hard drive somewhere. I could just show you like one of the videos, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that video was like 5 hours long because I've included like all these different tattoo styles, and time lapses and references and how you put it together from stencil to skin.
It's like for an aspiring tattoo artist, probably literally so invaluable.
Dude, like I literally just give them everything in the tattoo training, like
because we spoke about this. Obviously, you give them everything that you would have wanted when you were set.
Yeah, it would have saved me like years of work, to be honest.
Just to be able to see these things firsthand.
Yeah.
I just think it's so useful, and it's terrible that we're plugging it so much.
No,
like,
I know.
It is,
but like
it's really good.
This was very influential in in the tattoo training. Yeah, in my development, in my experience as well.
Which just shows you that it doesn't matter how many years you have under your belt as an artist.
You'll
There's
learn something new.
More to learn.
Yeah.
Always something new to get.
And you'll have a wee spell where it's like, oh, you don't really get to evolve much.
Yeah, you're kind of doing the same things over and over again
until something like this comes on.
Yeah, and then suddenly you're reinvigorated.
Yeah. No, there is another tattoo I want to really talk about.
Oh yeah,
but not in this podcast. We'll do a whole separate episode for that. Yep. But it was like the most complicated tattoo I've ever done.
Really?
Yeah. It's all like full color and so much detail.
Oh, that. Gorgeous.
I just need to ask permission, make sure they're happy enough, like me including this.
Check it out.
And so on, So there's so much meaning behind it. It actually shaped me as a person too. That tattoo.
And when did that tattoo happen out of interest? Is that?
We'll touch on it. We'll touch on it on another podcast.
I'm too excited. I'm too excited.
There is just so many tattoos I want to talk about. And of course there's so much content there that I'm literally just going to go through and be like, right, this would be good to talk about this, and this.
So I imagine just like there's so many pieces that you've just kind of done something new on or something experimental. You've found something really interesting you hadn't seen before.
And like each tattoo kind of again just comes back to like shaping me as a person. To be honest, like it's I learned so much for every kind of like tattoo experience,
which I think is wonderful. The fact that you can bring something back from every single one is cracking.
Yeah.
Sorry, don't worry, her. She thinks you smell really good. Wow. honestly, because we've done this is kind of the first of us talking about specific tattoos, and reference pictures from this were enough to get me. Like, you sent the pictures on to me, and I looked at them, and I went, "Oh, cool." So, like, the fact that we could go through kind of like your tattoo history.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dare I say your tattoo legacy, and to be able to go through them and kind of experience. Obviously, I wasn't there, but be able to experience them secondhand, I just think is so awesome, and it's such a great opportunity to look back on it through it all. And you just watch, in like 20, 30, 40 years when we're like old fellas, being able to look back at this kind of stuff. I just think, imagine the memories it'll bring back to you.
Oh yeah,
I just think that's cracking.
That'll be great, man. Well, Friel knows just watching this back.
I just wanted to ask, because we got a couple more questions.
Sure, yeah.
So I thought this would be a really good opportunity to ask him about them, okay? A couple here that we've got. So where does this tattoo sit in your body of work, right?
Well, it's quite high up there, to be honest. It was like one of my favorite kind of like projects. I love the concept style of work, and although like I love all different types of style of work, this one sits up there with one of my favorite. But I would hate to do it every day.
Oh,
yeah. So I still like the variety. Don't get me wrong, but this one here would sit up there, with one of my favorites, as I said at the beginning there. And I'd definitely love to do more of this style of work.
Yeah, you're looking for more opportunities to test it out.
Yeah, and hopefully consistently going to get more style, more of this style in the future, And
this will probably help you move on to other styles as well. I'm sure there's probably a lot of crosswork that goes on amongst a lot of different designs for tattoos. So probably things you can pull from this tattoo for other designs that you might have later.
Oh, of course, yeah, for sure, yeah.
Oh man, I just love that so much. The passion you hold for this is it's so endearing to me. I love it. Okay, so a couple other questions. Oh, this is a good one. What advice would you give an artist who's attempting something similar?
Focus on the bigger stuff first.
Okay.
Like the subject matter.
Piece,
yeah. For example, like the Marcus Aurelius one that we did.
Yeah.
Do that one first, with like maybe like a wee border or something around it, and then like maybe a few lines coming off of it first,
just so I guess, what you're going from the very start.
Yeah, and then do your next one, same sort of thing, and then build it around like the limb,
that centerpiece that you've already done.
Consider the position and basically everything I've talked about in this podcast. Consider all of that, and consider like the different kinds of perspectives. So don't rush into it. Put it on the skin and then sit with it. Maybe get a packet of crisps or something and just like study it first, and then be like, right, okay, I know exactly what I'm doing now.
Yeah, don't just rush into it. Really take your time to think it out, because a lot of preparation probably for exactly what's going to go on with the tattoo.
Oh, as like a full chunk. Don't like censor the whole thing to just only do one. Because time's limited. Client can only handle so much, so take it a step at a time. Only do like one or two in the first session, and then just kind of build around it. Unless you're one of those like crazy artists, so it's like, oh, we'll do like 3 sessions in a row, just knock it all out. And then in that case, then stencil the whole thing all at once. And then, slowly but surely take your time with it.
But you wouldn't recommend doing it all as one, because it does seem like a lot.
Well, as I said, like in one of the other podcasts, that we did about the tattoo and off it, it's too much. It's too much for the client. It's too much on the
artist.
The artist as well. Like, to me personally, that would be not worth it unless
there's something else.
Unless that's how you work, unless like it's you're taking like 2 or 3 days off or 4 days off, and then you have that one client that's flying out from America or something, and then you want to blast it out, like in like 2 or 3 days, But you got to make sure that they're mentally and physically prepared for that,
ready for that kind of pain,
But working like that, there's a lot of things that can kind of happen, So,
and obviously, the longer you're working for, as is the same in any job, probably the sloppier you might become. You kind of lose your concentration if you're on for too long.
Well, that's when you take a break, or that's when you say like, right, that's enough for today. We'll pick it up another time.
Yeah. So knowing your limits,
exactly.
Big one for that one.
Yeah. I guess this is like a wee mini series that we're kind of covering on certain
30-minute tattoos. You gotta think.
30-minute tattoos. Yes, there we go. That's one of the names.
I quite like that actually. Yeah. So we talk about a tattoo. It's a nice, short and sweet. It shows off a little bit of the work, shows some cool designs
Yeah,
and
like
stuff.
how the process of it and how we went about it.
Oh, this is great. Yeah. If you have some more really interesting
This is really good for like
basic-
anyone learning how to tattoo, you know? It's like just
Yeah,
the
because it
insight
shows a
into it.
reference of a work that you might be interested in. It shows an experienced tattoo artist discussing it for a bit and giving some tips and tricks. And it's some interesting commentary. And in a nice, short, sweet 30-minute package.
There we go.
That's good.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, shall we sign off?
Absolutely. Well, thank you again for tuning in, guys. And Rue, good to see you again. Adam, always good to have you.
Always
And
good to be here.
yeah, remember, Veni Vidi Mavi. Peace out.